On today's Toy Spot, we're going to be having a look at Ghostbusters Minimates Box Set Series 2. This was going to be slated for my spooky spots during the month of October. The only downside, though, this ended up being a pre-order. By the time I got this set, I believe it was about mid-November, so certainly I had blew my chance for getting this as a spooky spot, so I figured I'd do a review of it now. A pretty decent set. As you can see, the 4 figures on the front. We get both Ray Stantz, we get Winston Zeddemore, we got Gozer, and we also have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. If you weren't quite certain of the figures in this set, they are nice enough to include it along the side here. Ray Stantz with Zeddemore, Gozer, and Stay Puft. On the back of the packaging, it's got a poster of the Ghostbusters recreated in glorious Minimate form. And we've got the 4 figures down the side. It says, "Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night? Do you experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic? Have you or your family ever seen a spook, specter, or ghost?" It includes proton packs, neutron wands, goggles, and a ghost trap. Let's not wait any longer. What we'll do is we'll get this set out on display, and I'll show you guys a closer look at the figures. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Alright, now that he's out of their package, let's have... What happened here? This doesn't look good. At any rate, let's get the look at the figures themselves. Bit of a disappointment with these figures in the fact that if you've been collecting the Minimates are all over the place here. You've been collecting the Minimates from the Ghostbuster line before, you're going to notice a lot of figures, or at least half the figures, carry over from the previous waves. Anybody want to take a guess as to which two? No? If somebody said the Ghostbusters, you'd be absolutely correct. Both Winston Zeddemore, as you can see here, and Ray Stantz, as you can see here, both of them carried over from the individual 2 packs. The individual 2 packs featuring the ghosts. Really, for any die-hard collector of Ghostbusters who wanted to pick up the Minimates, I think the safe bet would be to get both this set and the Series 1 set that featured Dana Barrett, Louis Tully, Peter Venkman, and Egon Spangler. Between those 2 sets, you can make up all 4 of the Ghostbusters. You can get Gozer, you can also get the Keymaster and Gatekeeper, and a Terror Dog as well. If you were like me, however, who had picked up the individual 2 packs, you'll find then that you'll have 2 Ray Stantz, you'll have 2 Winston Zeddemores, and you'll also have a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. We'll look at these guys later. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, on the other hand, the one good thing at least about this character is if I pull out the aforementioned 2-pack, it does feature the exact same Ray Stantz, but at least the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is a bit different. The face obviously is a little different on the figure. You have the much happier Stay Puft at the beginning of the scene, featured in the 2-pack here, and then you have the very angry Stay Puft later into the end of the movie when he starts smashing stuff. So it is nice, at least you can get 2 different variations of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. But again, the disappointment lies in the fact that you do get the same figures again. Now, I had mentioned this, and I'll just move this out of the way. I had mentioned this actually in my Series 1 4-pack of Minimates, that it would have been nice, if anything, that they had just included Gozer here. That they would have included Gozer, maybe 2 Terror Dogs, and then Louis Tully and Dana Barrett as a pack on its own. And then as the other pack, you could have done the 4 Ghostbusters. If it was going to be a 5-pack, you could have done the 4 Ghostbusters, and you could have done Stay Puft. Why they ended up giving us 2 Ghostbusters with Gozer and then the other two with the original pack really escapes me, and I don't know why. But at least the saving grace is that you get the exclusive Gozer figure as part of this set, which I have to say is actually a nice figure. In the movie, I used to actually think Gozer was pretty hot when I was younger. Gozer, I know in the movie they said Gozer's a girl, and then they said Gozer can be anything it wants it to be. Well, I got to say Gozer was a pretty sexy girl in the movie, and I could never tell if she was actually naked and they just had, you know, conveniently placed. It almost looked like wrapping paper around some areas of her, but a very sexy ghost indeed. And the Minimate actually looks pretty good. It looks a lot like her. You can remove, I believe you can remove her hair. Yeah, you can remove her hair, which actually, look at the, almost looks like Wolverine's hair. But pretty decent though, a really nice looking figure. Certainly nice if you've got the other two, Dana Barrett and Louis Tully, or if you had the two Terror Dogs. Certainly she's nice to be displayed with either one of those. We'll look at the Stay Puff, which actually has a good comparison. You can see he's quite a bit bigger than Gozer here, and the reason for it is that they've added the additional pieces to his body, like the hands, for example, are the extensions. The feet are the extensions to the legs, and then they've got the casing, torso casing, making him much larger than other Minimates. Of course, as well, he's got the standard Minimate head, and then they've just included the additional molded Stay Puff head over top. Really nice figure. I think I almost prefer this Stay Puff over the happier Stay Puff that was in the 2-pack. I think that's a really nice looking figure. I like the angry though. Now looking at the figures that I've already reviewed in the individual 2-packs. Like I said, Ray Stantz is the exact same figure. There's nothing different about him. He does include the same goggles. Now, I guess the one good thing about it is if you have the 2-pack with Ray, you could have one Ray really if you want with the goggles on, like so. And then you can also have Ray without the goggles. So you can have kind of two different Rays to some extent, like that. Ray has the exact same proton pack, which is the same on all the Ghostbuster Minimates. You can pull the wand off here, and you can peg it into his hand. Peg it into his hand. There you go. And as I mentioned with the other reviews, I prefer to have the wand below his hand instead of at the top, because if you have it on the top, it looks like a ray gun. I think the wand makes more sense to have at the bottom. They also do include the proton streams, which if you've seen my review of these, I mean, this is nothing new, but it is neat that you can have the proton streams from the wands. And the one thing that I loved about the Ray with the 2-pack, I still love with this Ray Stantz, and that is the fact that, I'll just peg this back into place first, is the fact that the Ray Stantz also comes with a ghost trap. And as silly as it sounds, I mean, I think the real selling point aside from the Gozer is the fact that you get a secondary ghost trap. So if you already have this Ray, you can have Ray with a ghost trap. You can also have another Ghostbuster with a ghost trap. Of course, providing it pegs into the Ghostbuster, which unfortunately Ray is the only one that has that clip. But you can certainly have one of the Ghostbusters holding it as well, if you'd like. Love the ghost traps, though. But there you have Ray. Winston is the exact same as well. There's nothing different about Winston, and I won't do the proton wands or anything. I won't show you that, just because you guys have probably seen it to death by now. But Winston here has a, there we go, has a walkie-talkie, and you know what? It actually looks like the walkie-talkie's molded on this time. The other previous released figures, I believe the walkie-talkie could come off. It looks like this time they've just molded them right on. That's really interesting. I'll have to go back and check my review of that and compare. But Winston's the exact same. Nothing different about him. He's got a proton stream as well that you can attach. Overall, the set isn't bad. I'll try to get all the figures here. The set isn't bad. I mean, really, the selling point is the Gozer. If you were like me and you picked up the individual 2-packs, then you basically are stuck with 2 other Ghostbusters that you already have, which is not necessarily a bad thing because you can never have too many Ghostbuster Minimates. But overall, I'd give this set a 7 if you don't already own the 2-packs. If you do own the 2-packs, I probably would give this set a 6, just because they've duplicated the figures. But overall, I'm glad I picked it up. That was a toy spot on the Series 2 Ghostbuster Minimates. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.